Together,
Hey there, Otis. So sorry.
together at last.
I think some of this, whatever I had for dinner didn't quite agree with my stomach, so my
Okay.
apologies.
No. Let's leave it in the past. That's where it belongs.
I'm going to start off by just, I don't know, I'd like to say this on record, because I don't know if you want to start recording or we want to wait a minute.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to acknowledge that, and I think anybody that knows me knows that I'm pretty straightforward and can be highly critical when I don't think. Obviously, I was seeking awakening because that project that we actually put onto the internet in 2014 was called Awakening of Dionysus. And ends with that main ad going, "The Awakening of Dionysus has now begun." But we were talking like, I did not even, it was like a premonition of what my soul desired to do without even really knowing what awakening was.
Yes.
I just, my friends in the intelligence sector that kind of deal with this kind of thing and the orders, they said that this has to happen, but nobody knew how it would happen. Nobody knew that this gentleman who's the art dealer that would bring me my statue would be also bringing this much more valuable gift. So I want to thank you.
I appreciate it. This is the best part of you that I like, which is the part that is gracious, the part that is kind, the part that acknowledges other people for their mastery, for their brilliance, for their positive influence on you. So this is the you that you're blossoming into, only it gets better.
Yes, and that's the other thing, that it really is a practice, and it really is a beautiful practice, and it's one that, given, one could even say the vicissitudes.
Yeah, nobody lets go. Nobody lets go all at once.
Yeah.
It's too dramatic a shift, to go from identity to no identity and story to no story. So you get to pause wherever you want to in your awakening and say, this is where I'm comfortable for now. And then you can go, oh, I wonder why I did that. That makes no sense. So I stopped it from getting better for myself? Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And so then you go, okay, then. Enough of the stopping. Let's say go. Let's say yes. So let's say that you step aside. Do you understand what stepping aside is?
Like getting out of your own way, I suppose.
You have no opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have no opinion. You are stepping aside so that the divine can merge with what you've been and create a transformation for you, that transformational fire is fueled by the lies and the thoughts and the belief systems and every program and impact that had an influence on you taking on the identity and the story that you did, that was unconscious. All of that stuff that you're doing is being recorded. So whatever that noise is.
Sorry. It was actually, I was moving some newspapers out of my way.
Yeah, okay.
Should be gone now. I mean,
Yeah. No, I just got pulled out of where I was with that. See, because each time I come back to making my body a significant point of view, then I'm limited to the things that people talk about their bodies and what can be done with them. Instead of actively surrendering them to whatever it is, it's universally whole and complete and loving and supporting of all life and all consciousness. So if you surrender to that, are you really taking a risk on stepping out of the way? I don't think so. So surrender to that which unconditionally loves you. Allow the consciousness wherever it is in the universe, and maybe it's everywhere or nowhere, who knows? Only those who know the love of the universal I am. Yeah, yes, that cherishing of creation, because there was nothing and now there's creation, and fuck all. Isn't this great? Look at everything that everybody gets to do just because they want to be something. They want to be something, so they are. But what could they be? What could you be? What could I be? Is it possible that we could open so much that the universal is known through an experience of us? Yeah, of course. And you don't have to lose yourself in that. You find yourself in that. It's the opposite of what the fear of the body consciousness thinks, that they'll disappear and that there's really no I and all of that. All you need to know is that as you notice at each step of your evolution, of your transformation, that each step forward is better. You're going higher and higher, meaning you're taking a fuller and fuller responsibility for your experience until reality experiences your presence as something so masterful that it duplicates you. And now you're in a divine environment. It's not just you. So that's what we're looking to do, is create a divine environment for ourselves. Something that is so amazingly beautiful and just a precious thing to experience when you've been stuck in opposition and competition and polarization, good and evil, black and white, right and wrong. Do we really want to stay there? Do we really want to be stuck there? Do we really want to... Do we really want to reign in hell? Do we really want to be the Dark Lord of destruction? Not me. Not anymore. I'm done with all that. I'm done. It's time for me to love again. It's time for me to have compassion on myself. It's time for you too. It's time for you to no longer need the attention, any sort of adoration or deference or specialness thought of by others about you as they diminish the fuck out of themselves. God damn that anymore. No, not anymore. We're here to awaken. We've chosen. We've made progress on that, and we're committed to staying open and allowing ourselves to be renewed and restored and reclaimed and as something, confidence in its complete nature of self. You know who you are, you know what you are, you know why you are, and you're where you should be all the time. So surrender so that you have a better billing than you've had in the past. Surrender so that the transcendent can come through you and say, hey, here's something that will make your day. Here's something that will make you celebrate that miracles are possible. You saw it for someone else. Be willing to have that be you. Be willing to have the gift that is really the one that we all need, the one that we all yearn for, the one where we go home and are receiving mercy from ourselves and from everyone else. No more desire to oppose and destroy and offend or persecute or be disgusted by or be anything other than just delighted with each person that we see. And they feel that welcoming presence. They don't need to connect with you. They go, oh my. Couldn't maintain the lie of this life story anymore, not in the presence of one that has let everything go, even when it seems to be out of touch and out of balance and intrusive, like this fan here. Does it really matter? Can't everything be a reminder that the body is ours to enjoy in divine wisdom? The body is ours to enjoy in divine wisdom. I wonder who wants that painting. It'll be a lucky person that gets it, compared to where they are now. Where that will take them, the contemplation of that will be sublime and transformative. So allow that which is sublime and transformative to have its way with you. Say, yeah, do your best and do your worst, but do it all. To me, I'm open. I'm willing to be a guinea pig on what it takes for a body to open to the conscious life. What does it take for your body to open to the conscious life? Another beautiful painting, another divine message. So the art of awakening. That's the real me. That's where my mastery's found. So, if that's true, and you know it is, at least the one person I'm speaking to live, then what does that mean about you? What does someone who can open and feel like he's experiencing the totality of universal presence and consciousness as himself, if any part of that is real and true, then what does that say about you? Why would that consciousness have anything to do with who you are in the moment? Could it be because you're not who you were 3 years ago? You're immeasurably better? And it's that willingness to transform, to transcend, to change your point of view by expanding it as universally as you can in each moment. Just a continuous opening, but not in effort, in grace, in effortlessness. So let's step aside and surrender and open and expand in grace, which means we allow ourselves to be grace. Not the pain and trauma and tension and unconsciousness that we experience now, but true freedom, pure awareness, unencumbered by thoughts, ideas, beliefs, attitudes, decisions, considerations, unlimited points of view, an oppositional consciousness, and any sort of binding energy, agreements and promises and vows and really, come on, get real and wake up, you fucking excuse maker. What are you saying is more important than this right now? Some idea of some unconscious being in the future that says this is more important, that we get what? Oh, that they get more of what they've already got, that they've got too much of. And that's our priority? To not be real because of them? Not for me. Not ever. So where does that leave us? That leaves us with being competent enough that that decision was a good one. And so what that means is that I told a story the other day that I like. I like it because it's an indication of, somebody a mind that needs to define and compartmentalize and get an idea of the magnitude of something in order to have a point of view validated, that because he always knows he's wrong. Well then, for that person, which is me, maybe not you, but for sure me, then I have to say, even though I'm where I'm at right now consciously, I'm bound by the limitations that I believe are real. Then how do I get my mind around the truth? Around the truth. That you take all human effort, universally, eternally, past, present, future, and yet add it all together, the total impact of human thought and human consciousness as on the universe itself. And you yourself, by yourself, the truth of you is infinitely more than that. So quit respecting human consciousness as supreme, as defining, as limiting, and allow yourself to know just another % or two of the experience of the real you in body. The real you as an embodied experience, so that the body consciousness, that part of self where you allow yourself to be identified as a life, as a identity. How much of your truth are you going to allow to appear there? You're not striving for it. You are it, infinitely more. So if you have a special purpose here, if you have a divine errand here, then why are you shutting yourself down from knowing the divine you as your experience of yourself, where you're the one in the room that loves everyone. You're the one in the room that understands everyone. You're the one in the room that experiences everyone. And they experience your connection as a grace where they're honored because you do honor them. You almost worship them because you love them so much. And in that expression, in that freedom of that a person has when they experience grace embodied, Well, I'll let you know when I feel it fully and completely. Because there's still such solidity here, such a shutdown and a condemnation. And now look at me. I'm trying to figure it out, and that's where I'm stuck again. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to understand. I forgot what I told you to do, and that is for me to step aside and let it happen. Quit trying to figure it out. Quit trying to be the actor. Quit believing in the play of life as being complete without divine consciousness. Your divine consciousness as the embodiment of your life. Your consciousness. That you came here to experience something that maybe no one else has ever experienced. And yet everyone is when they choose to. And that is to know themselves divinely, embodied, whole, complete, universal, eternal, true. The truth set free. The body set free by the truth of the consciousness that inhabits it. That gives it the freedom to optimize itself in every way. Let your body optimize itself. Quit trying to direct it. Quit trying to order it around. Who knows better on how to be brilliant? All bodies are connected. All bodies know everything that every other body knows. So identify the ones that are most the way that you want, and just allow yourself to be reprogrammed. Allow your body to accept, what it is that will. You can stay on purpose, and your identity can be affected, to the degree that you're willing to let it. But only for the good, only for an improvement in your experience of life. When you surrender to the divine, you never, ever, if you truly do, which means you don't want to go unconscious, you want to go super conscious, you want to know the truth yourself. And you're open to the divine being inside you, telling you what it is by opening a broken heart, by dissolving barriers and shields and intentions from yourself and others to shut you down and to knock you out and to keep you forever and ever dense and dumb. Well, why are you hanging out with those guys ever, Love yourself and love your past, including that. And set yourself free. You don't have any opponents. It's not your fight. You do not fight. You only surrender. You win through surrender. There's another painting.
Yeah, that's hot. You surrender. Who would have known?
You only win when you surrender. Otherwise, you live a diminished life. You have a diminished consciousness. You have a beingness that other people hate. Not all of them, maybe, but some of them. And for good reason from their point of view. Why would you choose to win as that? Hey, I beat 49%, I'm 51, I'm the winner by a buzzer beater. Well, you buzzer beated yourself into unconsciousness. Fuck you. Wake up. You can't be real and be you. And by that I mean the story of you, the history of you, the identity of you, the ego of you. But the truth of you, yeah, that's what sets you free. But you have to be willing to let go of the story, which is all a lie. Every story is a lie. Why? Because it's not the real experience. It's designed to take you out of your truth and your experience of life as you wish and get you to agree that some other truth is more real than your own. Sorry, no. Your consciousness is supreme for you. Don't take any input from anybody else that wouldn't celebrate as much as you would. You're making a transcendent quantum shift in opening to your own actualization of whatever it is that is what every one of us came here to be. So lead off, man. Everybody's expecting to. You tell everybody, something great's going to happen. So it's now. Even though you're not on camera. Let it happen anyway. You think your ability to communicate that message and share it and is going to be less when it's real and true and you? What's a better story? The awakening of Bacchus or Dionysus from, just being another piece of shit like the rest of us? And then, oh my God, he made it. He made it. It's real for him. It's real for him. Oh my God, I was here when it really happened for somebody else. That almost never happens in history. It happened real and here, right now. I saw the guy. I know the guy. Oh my God. How lucky am I? God damn, you just fucked yourself to hell. You can't admire somebody else that's divinely embodied unless it's with divine admiration. It can't be with jealousy. It can't be with worship. It can't be something that you can never be, because your truth is the same. And if you want to have the same experience as some other divine being, then please go ahead and do it by just stepping out of the way and letting it happen. Just don't stop it anymore by putting yourself in the way and saying, I'm the boss. Don't be the boss. You're not the boss. Until you wake up, you're only the vehicle of expression. So you got to allow yourself to be expressed more sublimely, please. And anybody that says that you should put that off, go fuck yourself. You want to see whether this is real or not? Come over and be willing to open your heart and participate. And do things from the right point of view. A whole one, a wholesome one, a complete one, a wise one, a wise one. What, we want to hang out with bullies? With egomaniacs?
Egomaniacs, huh?
Not me. Not me. Not me. The only one I want to talk to is someone who's fucking already doing magnificently and is saying, ooh, my life is getting good. I love being me. Those type of people have followings. Those type of people have influence, right? So it's them, rightly, since they've already got the attention of the unconscious, it's them that should wake up first, because everybody's already given them their attention. They already have the conscious connection with humanity. Humanity pays attention to them, so let's show them what they're really here for. And have them open up and deliver on the promises that they made before they came here. This is our last rodeo. of acting this out like this. We finally got tired of it. And we're okay with transcending and embodying our wholeness again while we're alive. So that's what this is about. This is about us. In our moment in time that's appropriate, which is now. It's not in the future, it's now. It's always, always, always now. It's never, ever later. So fucking have a camera follow you around. Even if it's an iPhone. And complete your surrender. And embody the light as you love the darkness. And bring it back. Bring it back home. To a merger, to a wholeness, to a completion of being one with the light. And the light being one with the darkness. You know, there's different flavors of experience here, but it can all be divinely expressed. The darkness doesn't have to be evil. Evil doesn't have to be an option. You don't have to choose to be evil to win anymore. All you have to do is surrender to the transcendent until it becomes you and you become it. Connect with the transcendent, then let everything change about you as a result. Don't direct anything. Step aside and let it all reorient, reconfigure. Take in all the information it needs to be fully, consciously free here. Successfully. Be the life that is clear, clarity. And a delight for you to be, for you to experience yourself, for you to express yourself, because that's the effect that you have on life, another consciousness. So enjoy it yourself as the truth of you, because it is, if you let it. So step aside and allow your truth to set the story of you free, where you're confused and your experience of yourself is the story. So since your consciousness is stuck in your story, then the story has to step aside. It's the story that's stepping aside. It's all the same consciousness. It's just identified differently. You know, you've separated yourself out from yourself. So allow yourself to come back together. So you experience your wholeness, your completion, instead of being separate experiences. Experience your completion within the experience of being that life that you are here. Let your body heal itself. Realign itself, recreate itself, cleanse itself. And let go of all the unnecessary program that came with the cellular memory that goes back, billions of years? Life to life to life to life to life. All those experiences of each life, piling on top of all the ones before, until each person is born carries such a burden of the past that he has no chance of being true to himself or awakening, just being, the most conscious animal maybe. The most destructive, that's for sure. The most evil, for sure. the stupidest also. Not knowing to love that which loves you. Look at how animals treat each other. When something loves it, man, that animal is so into giving that love back no matter what. It doesn't even have to be family. It doesn't even have to be friends. It can be another species. They just met, but their hearts are open and they love each other. And they go, ah. And you get weird things like lions saving baby zebras from a crocodile or something else. You know, it's just weird what happens when consciousness becomes aware that it's not that life. It's just the life is the vehicle of expression, and they just woke up to their truth again instead of being knocked unconscious by the body. What if I died tomorrow? What if I died yesterday? Wouldn't you have wanted me to say what I said tonight yesterday if I wasn't around to say it today? Make a record of it, even though it's not anything other than exactly what's happening as somebody surrendering to the truth. And that can be a difficult thing to experience and to watch. But, if that's the subject that has your interest, you really have to have fog and soft music and beautiful girls. All of those are lovely. But it can't be the pretense of the divine. It has to be real. You can have the story too. You can act and play a role and have a personality. But it all has to be owned, not believed. You can own that story. You can own that personality. But don't go unconscious to the role and pretend that you're important. Of course it's important, but it's not you that's important. It's the fact that you surrendered and let happen what happens when the divine has its way with you. You go back home and you wake up as the divine. And then you're experiencing the body that way, and the body shifts as a result if you let it. If you let the body be free, it'll take care of you. Let's see, and I'm going to take care of that. That's happened too many times. It's turned off and it even does that, but it'll have a difficult time doing that unplugged. So, what do we do with what I'm saying here tonight? Only this,
I don't know, but it feels great.
It's okay that everybody is the way that they are, and they're treating us because of how we allow ourselves to be each day, how unconscious we go, the depth of the unconsciousness that we return to after we do one of these sessions. Do we really want to be comfortable as that and occasionally take a vacation for an hour from the horrible thing it is to be an unconscious human? We open up and allow ourselves to be free for a moment, then shut back down again for another month. Step out of the way. Don't have an opinion about anything other than the fact that whatever will be, will be. Go ahead, universe, remake me. Well, isn't the universe a nice thing? Isn't it interesting how much freer you feel right now than you did a minute ago?
It really is.
Step aside, allow the universe to remake you. It's going to do a good job, believe me. You already know that now, so go ahead. It's time again, step aside. Allow the universe to have its way with you. Each point of view of universal wide has the same power and effect as the others, so no one individual one can negatively affect you in any way. At least I'd like to think that. It can only affect you negatively if it's in an oppositional consciousness with you. If you feel like it does, in other words, when it feels you, it feels like themselves. They're not going to want to oppose you. They're not going to want to be your enemy. They're not going to want to hurt you because you're just like them. Feel what it is not to be oppositional to anyone. Well, you're able enough to be completely aware so that you're not around people who are dangerous to your life or your wallet. And you notice that the ones that fully support you and fully expect you to do something wonderful and are cheering you on. That's your team. That's your real team. Who's cheering you on? Not in a capricious way, but really, truly is highly conscious themselves, and in their mind they're saying, oh my God, he's doing better. I'm so happy. Wow. He's making good choices for himself. Wow, good for him, good for him, good for him. Ah, another one coming home. Good for them. Is there anybody in your life that's that for you? If not, why don't you open up and say, universe, I'm willing to let one of those people in. Maybe a whole bunch of them. Maybe I'm willing to be part of a community of divinely awakened souls. And open up. Notice if there is one or not. Well, I can't quite tell yet. My guess is no, but I experienced my house as divine once, and everything in it, and conscious, and in a celebration of itself and others. Everything in my house. And I experienced myself as that as well. But I stopped. I said no. I can't be that free. But now I can. I can say yes now. I can say please and thank you. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had in the past, but you know the consciousness that I was at then, and you know how much I could open and what I was willing to experience as a transformative shift. You know how comfortable I could be with that kind of change, you know. Each opens as fast as they can. So be okay with your choice until you realize that you could choose better and then do. Always choose for more when you realize that the choice is yours. Don't stay stuck for any agreement, for any purpose other than your own awakening. There's There's no reason to hold yourself back from embodying your truth because somebody else wants you to do something different. It's a bad fucking idea. Do what you have to do to survive and make money and prosper and stuff, but don't give up your truth for 30 pieces of silver. Or 30 million. Or 300 million. Or 666 billion. Who cares what the number is? But open up to the universe supporting you. Not humanity, but the universe. You don't take anything away from anyone. You take it from the universe. You're not making anyone less ever again. Everything that you need to embody your divine nature, your eternal truth, your universal presence as within the embodiment of your life. Take everything that's lacking from the universe. Just open up and say, okay, I'm willing to receive. Hit me with it. And maintain that choice in your moment-to-moment experience that you're open and receiving, and notice that you actually are receiving. And be okay with that. That your body has everything it needs to prosper, including knowing how to make money. And being open to receiving it in abundance. Just because it would actually be a good thing for you to be an example of an abundant life. Not a bad thing to be abundant. To create a lot, to make a lot of things happen that make life better for other people. Is it really wrong to prosper because you provide service to the world that the world wants and needs and values? Just be okay with receiving in however the universe wants to support you. That includes changing the experience of being you by providing you more energy, more connections, more colleagues that are have a consciousness that's transcendent. Isn't that who you want to work with? Is that out there? Well, the only way you're ever going to know is to be transcendent. Then you'll see. Then you'll know. And how do you be transcendent? Not by trying. Only by stepping aside and letting it happen to the body. Until you wake up and realize, self-realize the divine because you surrendered to it. Because you weren't experiencing yourself as divine. You weren't experiencing yourself as transcendent. You weren't experiencing yourself as universal and eternal. So you identified as not any of those truths that are true about you. So it's that consciousness that steps aside because you've identified as not real. Not the real you is how you've identified. And so not the real you has to step aside. You're being not the real you. So it's your choice as your lie that you're living. That, okay, I'm this, I get it, I'm this, and this is why it's solid, and this is why it hurts, and this is why it's ugly. And I'm letting that go. It's not my responsibility. It's God's. So let God take responsibility for you. Feel what that feels like. When you fill it 50%, you'll be a real demigod. That's what I think. So if you're 3% there, man, you're on your way. I suspect you're more like 4.5 now. So this isn't about words. This is about the experience of what you're feeling in this moment. I just speak the words because the words are my experience of what I'm moving through in that moment. And I say those words because I'm guiding you and anybody that watches this to go along with it. If there's a way of making money from it, great. But does it have to be monetized if it's something that sets you free? Let it set you free before you decide how to answer that question. Quit planning from a diminished consciousness. Step aside and allow the divine to be in you. Allow the divine to be in your body. Step aside. You're not in control anymore. Not as a fighter. You only get to come back when you've transcended enough that you're the lover. So feel that painful heart of yours and be one with it. And even though it's so painful, you know one thing now. That painful heart is actually a lover. It fell out of its wisdom and made bad choices. Still loving, but confused. Still loving, but traumatized by betrayal. So you have to love the you that was betrayed. Go ahead and love yourself. Love the experience that you've had as your life so far. Be grateful for all of it. For me, I have to be even grateful for my lethargy, my willingness to be fat and not the aesthetics that I love so much. I love beauty so much and the aesthetics so much. And yet, I don't enjoy my own body to the point where it's aesthetic. And if I enjoyed myself really, if I really enjoyed my embodiment, I would be moving my body in such a way that it becomes a beautiful thing, both the movement and the shape. So that's something that we'll capture on camera soon. And that is the process of the body beginning to awaken to an experience of itself as a consciousness of grace. And on that note, I guess I'll say I'm so happy that you pushed for this again. You asked me. You said, let's do a session tonight.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done a session tonight if it wasn't for that. So, this is on you. And so you actually are doing what's important to me. Making making me do a session, even if it's just repeated ones with you. That's still a gift to me.
No, this is really, really good. Like, gives clarity, and this actually, like, until the other side of my, my agent maybe doesn't see this quite yet, but they'll see it, or maybe they see it, but they just believe in it enough to when they want to document the whole thing. For them, it's a process of losing money, but to me, it's like,
Well, you can tell them that they have to watch this.
What's that?
If you want to, you can tell them they have to watch this or something like it. But since this had aspects of, the things that are going on right now with them, yeah, they have to step up. This can't be only about business. If they're going to do a show about the awakening of a demigod, and they think that they're going to stay the way that they are and be unaffected by that, they're sorely wrong. And so they have to consider that within the experience of themselves and say, what am I willing to experience about me? How much level of truth can I embody? Can I actually move beyond the guy that I've been, or the woman that I've been, or the person that I've been, into something that somebody else thinks is truly great and wonderful and magnificent, meaning that a highly conscious observer would say, ooh, wow, there is a fine example of a transcendent embodiment. So it's okay to let that happen for yourself. It's your job, it's your purpose, it's your reason for being, it's why you're here. And it's time for you to do that. You need to know how to do that. You don't have to, go all crazy with it on your first day or the first moment, but be comfortable with that being a continuing part of you. That, you know what, you're just awakened enough to go, oh, it's nice to be back.
Yeah, no, it's going to be great. Like, overall, it's more of, taking ownership of this whole thing.
Yeah, of course. This is about you. Your life is about you. Your life is your choice. And either people get on board with you, or they inspire you to choose for even more and better, and then it's a better plan. As you open and you expand and you experience more and more of your truth, it feels like you're becoming something else, and you are in a limited way, but it's not that your consciousness is changing. It's just that more of your consciousness is expressed as your life and your personality. You're choosing to, if there was any sort of limitation in your consciousness, you're giving more of it to the body. So that the body is able to experience a transcendence as itself. It's something that's radiant and a blessing to be that. So close your eyes and just allow the energy and the consciousness to move those words into expression, to actually be a transcendent, beautiful thing to connect with. And allow that connection to be a blessing to you, to be a support in every way of your further evolving into a clear and clean and beautiful manifestation of the consciousness that's really you. It's not that there's any different levels of consciousness between one human and another. It's just how much of it's being expressed. That's all. So where's that limitation? Where's that shutdown? What is it we do to ourselves, that where we say, okay, I'm allowing this much consciousness in my life, and I'm going to point the life in this direction, and then it's going to stumble around, and we'll see what happens. Why is this world, why is this life, why is this collective experience of billions of consciousnesses, why are we limited to this degree, to this extent, when our truth is infinitely more? It makes no sense, and to whatever degree I was responsible for creating or approving or participating in this game to the detriment of anyone else, I'm sorry. I changed my mind. And I'm out of here as a competitor. I'm out of here as a combatant. I'm out of here as a warrior. I'm not here to change things. I'm here to be changed and to observe the shift and the celebration of life as it opens into and experiences itself as a divine expression of a divine beingness. Give your body that. Give your body that experience by saying, yes, okay. However it happens, I don't know, but I'm in. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'm not saying no anymore. Then let it happen right now. Yeah, oh my goodness, that pain in the heart's going away. Ah, finally. So we have at least this, at least, even though nobody watches these and I don't promote them in any way, at least we captured this, in case it can be beneficial to someone else. And it's a production that costs, a little bit of time, a little bit of weed, and a camera already had. All it took was a request of somebody that wanted to have a beautiful experience for themselves, of themselves. You having a beautiful experience of you. That's what you want now. And isn't that nice? It is. It's admirable. So few of us ever have done that. So, or let's just say this, I didn't do it, but now I'm beginning to. I'm beginning to like being me. Even though I'm the body that I am right now. It's what I got. So I'm going to shut down my consciousness because I've been a lazy asshole my whole life? No. And so what's that going to do to my laziness? Well, I'll be on purpose, that's for sure. I'll be doing the right thing at the right time. And that's probably going to include, again, like I said before, moving my body in such a way that the body's awakening into a state of grace. And so this moving is grace, and conscious of self is grace. So if you're going to open up all the way, that's going to be your experience. And, it's a night and day difference for me. Because I could have only been the way that I am right now in the supremely dark level of self-destructive consciousness. But yet, here I am. And here I am doing what I'm doing what I had to do in order to become free again. I had to figure it out by letting it happen. And and so the fact that I'm recording this, the only reason I'm doing that is because I was told I had to. And so what does that mean? It means nothing. It just means that if somebody needs to be given permission so that they allow more of their reality, more of their truth, more of their divine nature into their experience of their physical self. Yeah, it's the right thing to do. It's time to be real. The real you. The truth of you. The truth of you to the extent that you feel a love for every life, every consciousness, and really every life, plant, animal, human. You're not here to denigrate anyone or anything. You're here to be your radiant presence in a life, in a body. And then to be moved by that in however it is you've trained yourself to create and express. Now look at me. I haven't trained myself to create and express in any of the arts that I've started painting, I guess, but, is it masterful? No. Is it inspirational? Hell yes, for me. It's taking me out of hell. And I created that hell for myself. And hopefully I didn't trap anyone else in it, even though I would suspect I did. And so maybe that's why I have to do this publicly, is to make up for all the evil shit that I've done in this lifetime and any other. In this reality or any other. In this dimension or any other. Whatever it is that you've done, that you take responsibility for it. And say, okay, whatever it is, it is. Whatever I did, I did. Whatever I said, I said. However, not one bit of that controls when I decide to go home again and embrace my truth and be embraced by my truth and have my fullness, my my experience of being a complete consciousness, not separated out from myself anymore, not separate from others, perceiving through the body senses, but not making anything else up. I'm here, I'm this, and I love it. That's the next painting. I'm here. I'm this. Oh my goodness. I'm here. I'm this. And I almost can say it. I almost can say it. I'm here. I'm this. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm getting more and more grateful for the blessing that I have in having my wish for myself come true. My awakening, my realization, my understanding, my love, my compassion, my becoming something whole again, something complete. So my wholeness, it's just a shift in awareness from separation to wholeness. Oh, all right. Ah, well, that is better, isn't it? Feel your wholeness. Okay. Now stay. Treat your body and conscious like a dog. Stay. 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 Good doggy. Stay. Stay. Yeah. It's okay to stay conscious. It's okay to be realized right now. It's okay to let it shift your experience of yourself profoundly.
Wow, this is beautiful. This phone is about to die. It's blinking on its last legs here, and I'm out right on.
That's okay. The battery's about dead on my camera.
Mhm.
So am I supposed to compare this to anybody else and say I'm better or worse, I'm more able or I'm disabled? No, this is my path. And whoever it touches and whoever it resonates with and whoever it benefits, I hope it benefits somebody besides me. I hope it benefits everybody. If they need it. If they don't, if they're already up and awoke, cool. Maybe I'm the last one. I'm okay being the last one. I really am. I'm okay that everybody else is already experiencing reality divinely, and it just appears different to me because I'm not my truth. And so I'm not set free, so I'm lost in a polarized maze of my own making. And I'm the last one. And it's okay to join the party. Nobody has to be reigning in hell anymore. Everybody else already escaped. Everybody else threw off their mask. Everybody else quit playing their role. The play was over. The applause is also over. And the story's over. So let's take our last step through the doorway of eternity while we enjoy our life here. You don't have to die for this. It's best to live with it, for it, as it. It's okay to live experiencing the truth that sets you free all the time. There's nothing positive in being less than that.
All right, Oracle, I'm actually in this clubhouse here.
Okay.
So they're kicking us out. I'm in my own little area.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for suggesting the session, and like we feel every time, it's always the best one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It really
Okay.
is.